feeling right. Oh, we're having some fun now. Every cast right now. Oh, we are back. It is a unbelievably beautiful summer day out. And where are we today? Today we're down doing some river fishing. And I absolutely love doing river fishing. Where were we last couple videos you guys saw? We did an awesome trip through Minnesota and all the way through North Dakota, fishing several different large bodies of water. Had an absolute blast out there, caught an absolute pile of walleyes. I have a big garage project slash media studio slash this big kind of construction project going on, which we've been working on a lot of the down days at home, but I had to sneak away for a couple of days, and we're down on the river system. And for the most part, I was thinking about what excites me, what makes me excited to go fishing, what makes me excited to go film something. And a lot of times that's a good challenge. Rivers, they vary an unbelievable amount. And overall as an angler, I feel like rivers are the spot that always kind of provide the most amount of challenge, kind of no matter where I go. So I like spending time, and it's exciting to me to come to places where you got to work a little bit. You kind of got to figure things out. To kind of come up with a good video. So here we are today, we're on the river. Like I said, hopefully this is going to be kind of like an awesome two-part series where maybe it's, you know, a salute to all you river rats out there. A couple different river systems, a couple different bodies of water here in the next couple days. Probably going to have to utilize several different techniques to catch fish, but hopefully it comes together and it's kind of a fun little quick road trip to get away and get out of doing some construction at my house. But that's the plan, so stay tuned. Like I said, beautiful day. Did not get an early start. It's already 10 a.m. Had to drive a bunch of hours this morning already, but here we are, and we're gonna put it together and hopefully catch some fish. I already have a few rods rigged up, ready to roll. But first things first, we gotta drive around, hopefully find some fish, and hopefully start catching them. So I'm excited to be down here in the river. Hopefully you guys are excited to watch, and I'm liking the challenge, and hopefully you guys are liking watching this stuff. So stay tuned, let's get it going on. Late summer river walleyes. Let's do it. All right. Well, let's think about rivers for a second here. One reason they're always so challenging, we've had a whole bunch of rain in the last couple days. So you have all this water fluctuation. You have a lot of fluctuation in the clarity of water. Obviously current changes, and that changes a lot of things. There's always this constant moving. Maybe one of you YouTube viewers or commenters can comment on this, but one thing I always say, for some reason you get on the river, and I always start with Mitch is with me, whoever's with me, I throw all these like old time river quotes at them. And one is, I always say, it's something to the effect of, I'm probably gonna butcher this, but no one man ever fishes the same river twice. And it's kind of true, because obviously the water levels always change. You know, things are always changing on these rivers, and fish can move a lot anytime you add current into the equation. So there's naturally always this level of challenge. What are the fish doing? How are they setting up on a piece of structure? What are they eating? You know, it's kind of just this little bit of added bonus that you got to figure out each time you're doing something like this. So with that being said, we're going to start out. This section of river we're on is relatively shallow, pretty dirty, and we're going to start fishing some shallow pieces of structure. And hopefully as we get into our day here, I get a little bit more dialed for you guys. But that's the plan for now. We've got a couple different things tied up. 1, live bait rig with a night crawler. 2 and 3 is a Acme V-Rod, one of my favorite river presentations. And number 3 is the Rapala Shad Dancer. All 3 of those presentations generally treat me well when I'm fishing a river system, and we'll see what it is today, I guess. Oh, bite. Got him right there. Nice walleye to get things going. All right. You know, fished probably 3 or 4 wing dams so far. And here's our first one. He hardly fit, but I also fought, but I also hardly set the hook on him. But there we go. Absolutely no complaints about those ones right there. It's a learning process. We're gonna be probably moving around a lot. I've thrown a crankbait a few times, I've thrown the worm a few times, blade bait a few times. First one came on the worm. Is that how the day is gonna be? Time will tell, right? And you guys can see how kind of slow that bite was. It's kind of like I got it in there and he just kind of, you just could feel like the wet sock effect where you're just kind of like, oh. That's why having a lot of times a medium light or softer tipped rod is so nice for doing techniques like this. These live baity finesse techniques. This is a 7.3 medium light fast action Elliott rod, and the tip is very light on it. So that tip will load up a lot when I get one of those wet sock bites, and I just kind of keep it just semi-loaded. And a lot of times you'll just kind of watch the tip go whoop, whoop, whoop. And that's enough to obviously tell you just kind of bowl the rod up a little bit or feed him a little slack and set the hook. But there we go. Oh, there's a bite. Right there. Feeling right. Feeling right. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Nice walleye right there. He absolutely did what a lot of these river fish do. And they just, you'll get thumped and they just charge the boat, run it back into the current, I've noticed. Not a big one, but a nice fish for sure. For the middle of the day, just kind of getting rolling. Andy's off in the net. That's what we like right there. It's definitely what we like to see. Perfect river eaters. About an 18 right there. And that is definitely what we're after. And it's a couple bullet points on the map so far. And, you know, I just kind of pulled into another wing dam here, and the tip of it, kind of where it meets the channel, was probably about 10 feet deep. And with the water just coming up a little bit in the last week, I'm checking up a little shallower. So I kind of slid into like the 4-foot side of this. And there we go. There's a fish right there. So a lot of times I feel like you get accustomed to always fishing that outer piece of structure. Man, I got a loop way down in my line here. You get accustomed to always fishing that outer piece of structure, kind of where it meets the channel. Or a lot of these real dirty systems, especially if you get a little bit of water on the rise, don't be afraid to check way up shallow. Oh, there's a bite. Where you at, buddy? Got him. Feeling right? Oh yeah. Oh, angry river walleye there. You can see how shallow we're fishing. I mean, that fish comes up to the surface real quick. And I'll tell you this, it has definitely been a little bit of a grind. But hey, that's why we came, isn't it? We didn't, I think there's other places we could have gone and surely caught way more fish. But the challenge has been accepted. There we go. A lot of this size fish out here. Just, you know, super nice, healthy, kind of 16, 18 inch fish right in there. He's got this hook all bizarrely turned around in his mouth here. Look at that. Beautiful river walleyes. Getting a few of them. It's definitely not a fast and furious type of deal, but hey, we'll take it. And so far it seems like just this little bit of rise in the water level, I got fish that seem to be sitting a little bit shallower and a little bit tighter to the bank. Got him right there. Come on, buddy, be right. Feeling right. It's definitely feeling right. Although it could be a sheep's head, but I'm guessing it's probably a nice walleye here. Oh yeah, real nice walleye there. Come on. What is with this today? Like, I've had two of them now that just like have not seemed to have fought at all until right when they get into the net. Good news is that was my first cast. And I got off of a wing dam and kind of came into a different little spot where you have a couple different currents mixing. Anytime you have kind of two currents mixing together, either a little feeder creek that comes in or something like that, it normally is going to be a productive area. And there we go. There's just a little creek coming in off the shoreline here, and because of that, there's a little flat and just a perfect little current seam. And you can imagine a lot of times, you know, kind of the main flow water coming down and the river coming in. Wherever those meet, normally there's going to be some kind of little bit slackier water area. And normally if you can find that, and hard bottom, that's the other thing that we're always on the lookout. Anywhere you have that little bit slackier water, a little bit of hard bottom, seems to be holding some fish. Oh, there's a bite. Got him. Feeling like a nice fish. I'll show you guys kind of what I pitched at right there. Just took a screenshot of it right there on sonar and 2D. I'm just kind of working up this edge. And marked a couple fish, pitched on them, and boom, right there. All right, it's feeling like probably one of the nicer fish of the day. As long as it's the right kind here, which I believe it is. Oh yeah, nice walleye, nice walleye. That's what we're after right there. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh yeah. Well, we're kind of slowly putting it together here. A couple fish kind of back to back. It was kind of like one here, one there. Now we kind of got into this spot. Seems to be a few more signs of life. You know, when you're river fishing, you're just always marking so many fish. And sometimes it can be hard to kind of decipher through the clutter of what's walleyes, what's sheephead. So it's just naturally it's going to take you a little bit more time. Now, one good piece of advice I always have is look for fish relating to a piece of structure. This case, it's a kind of a real shallow flat where a creek comes out, boom, big lip. Goes from like 3 feet to 10 feet real fast, and there's obviously fish relating to that. Might be a wing dam, could be a, you know, just a current seam, but a lot of times if you're just in no man's land, it's not that walleyes can't be there, but in systems that are just filthy loaded with a little bit of everything in it, it helps to kind of narrow it down a lot of times. Whoa, another one right there. That's feeling right. Come on, be right. Look at that rod loaded. Oh yeah. Oh, we're having some fun now. You know, not a big fish, but man, in the current, they just pull so hard. Come on, buddy, come on. Come on, boat flip into the boat. There he is. Well, it's like every cast it feels like now I'm getting a bite. It was kind of slow goings right off the bat. But sometimes it just takes you a little bit of time to figure something out. There we go, beautiful fish right there. Perky, clean, river walleyes. And so far, all my fish have been on this rig. We filmed a YouTube video doing this style of fishing probably about a month ago. But it basically slip sinker, slow death hook. Did an awesome piece on the WALLEYE NOW app, kind of exactly how you fish it, how you rig to kind of get the most out of it, because it's kind of one of those goofy, weird presentations, but obviously very, very effective. All right, guys, you know, one tool that's been unbelievably helpful out here has been the Humminbird Mega Live, and not necessarily to see fish, but mainly to orient myself and make sure I put my bait where I think there's a highest likelihood of fish. Fishing pretty shallow, so we're not gonna see all those fish every single time on the live, elevated way up off bottom, but I'm gonna show you kind of what we're casting at here. And you guys are gonna see, I'll try to do this to the best of my abilities here by myself. Pretty flat out in front of the boat right now, but we're fishing this piece of hard bottom that comes up, and as I turn the graph this way, you can see how it's starting to come up a little bit faster right there. And right there's the face, 30 feet out. So that's kind of how far a lot of times, you know I just got to make that cast 30 feet out, 35 feet out each time, and kind of line that up on there, kind of right where, you know, obviously you see the structure happening. There's no point to be fishing the flat water. So now that if I point that way, you know, you guys can probably see it just clear as day here. Obviously, if I just throw the camera on again, you guys will kind of get the shape of it right before this big giant boat goes by here. But there it is. And then as I go backwards, what you guys are going to see is it's going to flatten out again. So that piece of structure is right there, perpendicular off the, it's a beautiful summer day, isn't it? But that structure is going to be perpendicular right off the right side of me, and it's out there about 30 feet. So I know I just make that cast over and over and over. Now, that's a huge help for a lot of different reasons, but I think a lot of people have this idea that these forward-facing sonars are only meant to be seeing fish and watching your bait go into a fish's mouth, when in reality, one of the best things that you could use it for is repetition, knowing exactly where you got to put your bait to catch a fish and making that cast over and over and over. So I'm not making a really long cast to hit that. All I know is I just got to cast about 30 feet, about that far out, make that cast over and over. I'm going to know pretty quick if there's fish here or not. Dude, it's every cast right now. Every cast right now, we're getting a walleye, and they're all right in that little spot in the current right there. It's feeling right. Look at that thing go. Wow. Wow. Come on, what are you, buddy? Oh, nice walleye. Nice walleye. Well, this is kind of where, you know, it feels like the day starts to come together a lot of times. A lot of the YouTube videos we film might have a slower start, or maybe they only start when you get to this phase 3, the phase of completion, but showed kind of a little bit of it all today. I've caught more fish in the last probably 20 minutes than I have in the last 3 hours. But sometimes that's just what it takes. A little bit of hunting around. And we might try a few casts with something else, because, you know, it's the old scenario of, what are they biting? Oh, well, they're biting this. Well, did you try anything else? Or, you know, we've been trying a few other baits, but it's tough to catch walleyes when you're not around walleyes. And now that we're around walleyes, maybe we'll mix it up a little bit, see what happens. It's about as good as it gets right there, though. Beautiful, clean fish. Nope, right there. Wow, did he just pick it up and go? Come on, still be there. Got him right there. Wow, is that feeling right? He's gonna pop up here. You never know in the current. Oh yeah, nice wall. Is it a walleye, dude? What the heck is this? It looked like a walleye for, oh yeah, it's a nice walleye. Real nice walleye. Oh my gosh, dude, what a fun day this has been. You know, took me a little bit to kind of, geez, dude, I can't even put him in the net. Can't even get him in the net. It took me a little bit to kind of figure out what was, I'm botching this so bad right now. Took me a little bit to kind of figure out exactly what was going on here. But once we kind of found the location and got the presentation dialed, we were pretty much off to the races. And there is absolutely no complaints from me. All right, look at that fish to wrap things up. Well, it's been a productive little bit of kind of afternoon into the early evening out here, I'd say. It took a little bit to get things rolling, kind of like I said, but once we found that location and the presentation they wanted, it definitely came together. We filmed a whole bunch of stuff, probably, or I did. I was down here about a month ago, did really well. Even better than this, I'd say, but you know, day to day. It's a little bit different, but we put a ton of great stuff on the Walleye Now app for any of you river guys, whether that's locations we were fishing today, these little bumps in the shorelines or wing dams, whether that's that finesse rig presentation, take a deep dive on that. Walleye Now app, which is available on Google Play and the App Stores, kind of became like my personal library of like the highest detailed videos you could possibly have of all time to kind of put anglers on the fast track to success. But with that being said, I'm gonna go back to the hotel. Got to find a hotel first, eat some food, and all I've had is one Cliff Bar today and coffee, and go from there. And tomorrow's going to be another very exciting day on a different stretch of river where we're going to be fishing a totally different pattern for a totally different, just a whole totally different type of day. And that's the best part about river fishing, very diverse. So stay tuned for that. If you guys don't see a video, it means I totally bombed, didn't catch anything. But hopefully we do decent tomorrow, fishing a totally different style of river, a totally different technique. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys are not already subscribed, please do that and stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you later.